what everybody's been saying. Like, where are we? What is this?
It's a question that I ask myself every day I come to set. I feel like, write down your feelings, you should write down the stories that you want to see, write down what you want to happen to your favorite characters, or Bucky's dead, Happy New Year. Well, that's it. That's all I got. I don't really know what I'm talking about because I have not read a script. I haven't met even half of the people in this cast yet. I've done the majority of my screen time with my friend Anthony Mackie, who couldn't be here because he had to have one of those Cuban cigars. Some of my favorite things to do on a Saturday is to read thirst tweets with Anthony Mackie. But you're like a puppy dog. Like, how do you play this dark character? That was probably one of my favorites. Because in life, in a similar way, friendships develop and they change. And sometimes you can know someone for, 15, 20 years, but people change and sometimes they go on different paths. So.
If you could give any advice tonight to Steve Rogers, if Bucky Barnes could talk to Steve.
Steve Rogers?
What would you say? Or what would
Steve Rogers is always going to be Steve Rogers. He's going to do no matter what anybody tells him. Even when he was a kid, he used to just not listen and go and defend himself in the world. He's got a big heart, so I'll probably just say follow your heart, buddy.
So are you condoning fanfic?
Yeah, why not? I think that would be a good way to deal with it, and then you may actually maybe have it come true. I don't know.
Ooh.
I mean, never say never, right? It's possible. Oh! Very warm and fuzzy.
Very warm and fuzzy.
Got the beer now, it's good. There's only so many astronauts in the world, first of all, and they are superheroes. I mean, they're going as far as they can go. They're the humans that leave Earth, and there's not a lot of them, so to speak. They're heroes to me because one of the things that I wanted to really get from researching playing an astronaut was always fascinated about what makes somebody want to be an astronaut, because there's so much that they have to give up of their own life. I like reading a lot of biographies because I'm curious in how people become who they are, or what they get influenced by. But space for me is always kind of my little hobby, in terms of just the scope of things, knowing that there's a whole other thing beyond, our little bubble. There's definitely a superhuman idea to them, the fact that they're these explorers. They're like our modern day Lewis and Clark, so to speak, that they've got to know that they're part of something bigger than just the regular day-to-day problems that we have on Earth. But that's okay, because the Winter Soldier's always kind of figuring out, what environment he's in, so. You could say, so does he, he's just becoming more comfortable in his own shoes and arm as he's progressively getting older is what's happening. That's just like aging through the films.
Well,
quickly. I want someone to look at me the way Sebastian and Anthony Mackie look at each other. Very surreal moment. Yeah, I mean, that whole experience was surreal, but it was great to be included in the picture. And since that's sort of like your wrap gift and what you walk away with, I guess it's very nostalgic. It is deep. Movies are deep. Movies are deep. Thank God the dogs were not near. Oh.
Give them the money.
I feel good. I feel good. It's good.
Your favorite fight scene?
Oh, the bridge fight scene in Captain America: Winter Soldier with Steve Rogers. Chris Hemsworth certainly looks like, he's lifting Empire State Buildings. I have no idea.
And do you feel like you've made it great?
I feel I've had a contribution to it. I think there's other people involved that, like the filmmakers, who have done an incredible job. The writers have produced an incredible script where you really have so many characters that you will invest and care for.
He is missing the star on his chest, so I don't know what that means. But no, I did not do the robot. Oh. I was just more like going around like, like grabbing things left and right and like, making sound effects and You know, I think they're always like telling me, they're like, you know, you don't have to do those sound effects when you do the punches, because we're gonna add them later and they're gonna be a little bit more effective, you know. But it just, you couldn't. Well, today I had a chicken pesto pizza, which was really good. Musicals is where like everything started with. Between that and Crazy for You, and then, you know, this camp I went to, and I did musicals there, and it was just fun.
I love that you did musicals. That makes me feel very connected to you. Bum too. I didn't know. I would have prepared questions. Do you remember your line?
God, I don't know. It was that song in the beginning. You know,
Downtown.
Yeah.
Oh
where
my
the
God.
folks are broke.
Oh my God. Where the folks are broke guy. It's very exciting to me. I know exactly in the song. It's fabulous.
No, I love pistachios.
Oh.
Cashews are my favorite though.
You would be a lot of fun to hang out with on Friday night.
I should do that. I should go green. We should all go green. How are your ribs?
Ribs.
You know, I think it was probably around when I was 15 that I was like, oh, you know, being different is a good thing. And I think we have to remember that, because nowadays, especially for younger people, because I feel like there's so much pressure on you to be, you know, to be with the status quo, to be like everybody else, and it's actually the opposite.
What would you say your favorite musical is?
Oh God!
That you listen to, and don't say Hamilton because it's too easy. I'll be mad.
No. I love that musical, Sweet Charity. I always loved that musical.
Big spender.
And Hair. Hair's another good one.
You're like retro. I appreciate that.
Your most memorable line.
Who the hell is Bucky? I think that's always up to question, you know, and in a good way, to be honest, because the thing is that I actually haven't really thought about it, other than the fact that, like, every time you see him, he's in a very different place. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he's not really like a very like dangerous guy for the most part, but I feel like, you know, he's still got the hair and the look, and as long as he has this situation going, then I think he can look a little skeptical.